All right, and part three of the press box this week, Anthony. We're talking Major League Baseball. The off season so far. Yu Darvish finally being posted, and Ryan Braun. Yeah, yeah.
It's an
Yeah.
absolute shame. And let's
Ryan
start.
Ryan Braun.
Let's go with the bad
Yeah.
first. Let's go with the bad first and talk about Ryan Braun. I'll just have to say this real quick. Ryan Braun could easily be one of the best hitters in the league, clean. And I don't know if, and we neither of us know whether it's actually going to stand. I
Yeah.
think it's going to, but
I think he's going to also.
you know what? The sad thing is that Ryan Braun is a good guy. He is a good player, and you know what? I'm sorry, but he got caught, and it was the worst possible time for him to get caught because now the Brewers miss a third of your NL MVP, which I think should be rescinded from him if it's positive. He shouldn't have won that. He should not have won that award to begin with. That was Matt Kemp's baby, and Ryan Braun somehow gets it, and he got it on steroids. You're in a different league now. I'm not saying you go back and you take away Roger Clemens' Cy Youngs or A-Rod's MVPs. You take away Ryan Braun's because it's a new standard.
No, but you can't do that because it's never been done before.
Why not now?
But because Alex Rodriguez, like you just said, admitted to using steroids when he won the MVP in 2003.
Different times. There was no testing.
If you look at it, I was reading an article the other day. If you look at it, okay, 6 of the top 10 guys in the MVP voting in 2003 when A-Rod won have all been linked to or admitted to or suspended for taking steroids.
More of a reason why to do this now. We all know you can't
do it now. And this is the one point I'm going to make about why you can't do it now is because Braun tested positive for the steroids in the postseason. He never tested positive in the regular season.
So wait a minute. You're telling me he's going to only test positive in the postseason just because... So I'm going to only juice up in the postseason because I need that extra little lift. I'm sorry. That's bull.
No, it's not. Because the voting for the MVP is done the day after the regular season ends and the day before the postseason begins. So if he didn't juice during the regular season, when the numbers that went towards the MVP were counted for something, and he juiced during the postseason trying to get an extra oomph to help his team win, then you can't. It's two separate things.
I'm sorry, you cannot buy that excuse to help the team anymore. I'm not saying that I'm buying it. I'm saying that you have to look at it as he tested positive in the postseason, not in the regular season. And if you look at his career numbers going into last year, and you look at the numbers that he put up last year, if he was roiding, they're the same. I don't care if they're the same. You got to set a standard now. I understand,
but also you can't rush judgment. If it comes out that he did test positive and that there's no indisputable evidence to overturn that, then I will agree with you that he cheated. But
that's what I'm saying.
I don't think that you should strip him of the MVP award.
No, not right now. Once everything's cleared up.
Not ever.
Oh,
not
see,
ever.
You know what? There's no way. Because if you look at it from this perspective, you have a guy. You're going to tell me he only did in the postseason, which I think is a load.
You can't. No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying he tested positive in the postseason. These players get tested randomly throughout the season.
Players get tested randomly. They're not all tested. Ryan Braun might have gone the whole season and not gotten tested.
No. All the players are tested, but they're tested at random points during the season. They're tested going into spring training. They're tested a couple of times during the season, and they're tested once they get to the postseason.
I don't know. All I'm saying is this: you're in a new standard. If you're dumb enough to take steroids right now, there's no way you should be the MVP. None. And I know knowledge isn't taken into that, but I'm sorry. You are... First of all, Ryan Braun is one of the leading guys in all of baseball. You're talking about, like, high upper echelon people know who Ryan Braun is. Yeah. He's up there with the Pujols, a Fielder, a Jeter, an A-Rod. He's up there. People, if you say Ryan Braun to a below average baseball fan, they know left field Milwaukee Brewers. They know that. You're one of the faces of baseball, and you're going to take steroids? This isn't the steroid era where, you know what, you can't say, oh, everyone's doing it. You're saying, you can't say, oh, I need the extra lift for the postseason. No, that's not going to fly anymore. So if you don't set that standard, it's going to happen again. Matt Kemp deserved the award. It is recent enough that we understand, in the perspective of things, Matt Kemp could have had a better season. And you know what? Maybe if Braun doesn't take the steroids, whatever. The Olympic Committee has this right. Anytime you are convicted, it can be taken away. Does not matter before, after, during. You are convicted of steroids, you have no gold medals no more.
Then Alex Rodriguez should lose his MVP award.
And I'm actually okay with that too.
But you can't do that because then you have to do the voting all over again.
Okay. Which is why, look, I'm saying I'd be okay with A-Rod losing it. I'm not saying it should happen. I think, in all honesty, that Ryan Braun has to lose it here.
But you can't say that Alex Rodriguez, who came out and admitted to juicing when he won his award, and Ryan Braun, who tested positive after he won his award.
Was it tested? Was A-Rod tested? No.
But it doesn't matter because A-Rod came out and admitted to using it.
So what? I could admit.
What do you mean? So what?
So what? It was not illegal. He was not tested.
No, it was illegal. They just didn't test for it back then.
They test for it now. It's a new era.
Yes,
it is a post-Mitchell report era.
Under your argument, because Rodriguez failed that test, because he came out and admitted, because that whole thing a few years ago from when the samples were supposed to be mixed up and nobody was supposed to be able to match what sample was, and then the list got leaked and everybody matched the sample to A-Rod and found out that A-Rod tested positive when they first did that initial drug test, and then he came out and admitted it. Under the Olympic Committee rules, if we were doing that, Alex Rodriguez should right now be stripped of his MVP award. But when you look at it, Manny Ramirez, Miguel Tejada, Jason Giambi, David Ortiz, Nomar Garciaparra, and Alex Rodriguez, all of them have in some way, shape, or form been linked to steroids, and those were the top 6 finishers in the 2003 AL MVP race.
And I'm going to make
So then, if you went back and re-voted on that, you have to take all 6 of them out.
Yep. But see, this is the difference, and I'm going to make this point quick so we can talk about Pujols a little bit. Back then, it was not tested, and you're right. To take 6 people out of the race and try to figure who had the 7th best season would not be right. But when you have it right now, where it's a clean cut, Matt Kemp could win this award. Matt Kemp tested the whole time, was clean. Go ahead, Matt Kemp. You won that award. You can do that now. You could not do it in 07 or 05 or whatever year you want to call it. But talking about Pujols now, who we hope, and baseball hopes for that matter, did not take any steroids. $254 million over 10 years to the Angels, who also picked up lefty C.J. Wilson. 4 years, $77 million.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous numbers from Los Angeles.
5 years, $77 million.
Ridiculous numbers from Los Angeles, who's been quiet the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Now, real quick, do you give them the edge this year? Do you think they're the team to beat in the American League?
Well, you know what everybody says, that the American League is a hitting league. And having the best pitching staff obviously worked out last year for the Phillies. But when you look at this pitching staff top to bottom, Jared Weaver, Dan Herron, now C.J. Wilson, a resurgent Irving Santana, it doesn't matter who they put as their 5th starter. They're going to be a really, really good team. They're obviously the favorites to win the American League West.
Mm-hmm. I would put them right up there.
Absolutely. Pujols,
and it has nothing to do with Pujols. Nothing.
But again, the thing you have to look out for is he doesn't have a lot of protection in that lineup. He has Mark Trumbo. He has an aging Torrey Hunter.
He has a lot of uneven.
Vernon Wells. I mean,
let's put it this way, and
Yeah.
I see your point where you're getting to. There's a lot of mixed bag protection.
Yeah.
Because you have Trumbo, like you said, you're going to have Mike Trout, but they're both young. You have Torrey Hunter and Vernon Wells, but they're both old. Howie Kendrick's coming back from an injury. So there's a lot of potential for him to have protection, but not that much. It can go either way. Either that Angels team is going to absolutely kill the ball and hit over 1,000 runs, or they're going to just not. Everyone's going to walk Pujols and no one else can be trusted.
Or their pitching staff is going to just shut everybody down.
800 plus innings from the 4 pitchers combined this year. If they do anything similar to what they did last year, and we all know that's up in the wind, that team is going to be dirty.
I mean, the team is going to be dirty no matter what. And that's the thing. The team is going to be dirty no matter what. But when you look at it, and I'm looking, Joel Pinheiro is their 5th starter.
Yep.
And he had a solid season for them last year.
He did.
And that is a very, very scary pitching staff when you look at it top to bottom. But this lineup, it's easier to pitch around Albert Pujols in this lineup than it was to pitch around Albert Pujols when he was hitting in front of Matt Holliday and Lance Berkman.
Agreed.